smoothly it all runs. And I will leave you with Julien, the future.
No! I'll start with what Theo just said. Next week, starting on Wednesday, is the German Perl workshop in Munich. This is my trial run for my lightning talk that I'm going to be giving there. And this is my only trial run. So I'm not practicing these things. I'm practicing it now. If you all want to go to the pub where Perceptix is paying for the beer, I can do it in German. Then you can go to the beer faster. English or German? English. Okay. So this is called Join All the Things. And it's about DBIx class in Perl 5, and specifically about joining and prefetching. A while ago, about a year and a little bit ago, I saw this Stack Overflow question where someone was asking about how to get relationships that were used in a condition, blah blah blah, really long question. I was saying, I can do this. Let's look at the question. So it's got these three tables. There are products, there are product models, that's the relationship between the product and the model, and there are models. And there's some example data. It's just like product 1, product 2, and so on and so on. And what he wants to do is he wants to find all the products that support model 2. And that's pretty much here in our example, that's product 2. And for each of those products, he wants to show the list of model IDs that product supports. And he does that by finding the product and then goes back to the relationship and then finds those two models. It's I don't really understand why he wanted to do that, but I took like 2 hours and went and hacked it. And now I'm going to explain how I did that. So I made those tables. It's just pretty much the same as what we just saw, product, model, and product model. And then I used DBIx class schema loader. I think we have someone here who knows how that works. It's great. It's great. I think it's missing like a console for like doing this on the fly, like a REPL for this. I'm not volunteering to build that.
It's called REPL.
Right. So first of all, we need to set up the result set. So we start with the product, and then we're searching for the product models model ID M2. Cool. And then we had this join. Actually, it's not a join; it's a prefetch. So we join on the product models relationship, and then we join on that table's product ID relationship, and then we join on that table's product models relationship, and then because we're fancy, we'll add in the model as well. And it becomes this really complicated, horrible trail of things that when you first see it, you're not really sure what it does. And then to get the data out, we have to iterate over it. So we iterate over a result, and then we say for every product model, in those models, get me all the supported models for that product, and then get me all the model IDs and put them in a list. And this is what it actually does. So we start with the product models relationship. So we've already got the product, and there's this one-to-end relationship to the product model that we do. And from the product model, we go back to the product. And from the product, we get all the models that that product supports, and then from there, we can get each individual model. And we get this wonderful chain of things that is now very colorful. If we split that up, it becomes this. And now it's a bit less weird. And if we want to look at the code that we actually use to get the data out of it, we start with the iteration. So every result is now this product that we started with all the stuff that has been prefetched for it. So first of all, we say, for this one product, give me all the models, and then we iterate those models. That's relationship number 1 that I've marked there. And we say, okay, let's put them in this list of models, or this array of models, and we go and fetch each product ID relationship for that model, and for the product ID relationship, we get all the models that the product can have, and those will be the supported models by that product. And then we just we put the model ID's ID, and this could be the name as well. That's why I went for the 4th one. We put that in this array, and then we print it. And we're done. And then we get this output, which means it works. Great. And let's look at what this does in the background. So if we turn DBIx trace on, that's this environment variable that makes DBIx class print the SQL it does. then we get this block of things where, and this is nicely colorful marked, it will join those 4 tables where actually 2 of them are the same, and the third one, or the second one, is the same as the initial table. It will fetch all the columns of all of them, and some of them multiple times, which sounds really weird, and we wouldn't really do that if we were doing it ourselves. But it makes sense, because the result is then actually that it gets everything. And if we weren't prefetching it, we'd have a ton of queries. So here's the output. That's all of those columns. In our case, it's just 2 lines, so it's not very much. But if we get rid of the prefetch and we say, let's do a join instead, then we suddenly get this. And so every time we call one of those relationships, it does a new query and it gets terribly slow. And we don't really want that. Thank you very much.
Can I just add to this?
Yes.
DBIx trace is your friend, and when I've been composing DBIx class stuff, I've found if you do the joins in one direction, you get one query, and if you do the joins from the other direction, you get a different query. And I've found if you do the leaf node first, going back towards the center, that's more efficient, or it produces more efficient SQL.
Yes, well in this case we're going in a circle, like twice. So it's a very weird tree.
Yeah, and you can't actually blame DBIx class